because I'm not bright. Alright, so sorry about that. And we're back today. I think it's Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm smart. And today we are trying Blue-White Approach again because Blue-White Approach is still our favorite deck, even if I personally don't think it's particularly well positioned at the moment. Still my favorite deck. I enjoy playing it. I like it. Today's build is a build that comes from a local to my area who me and the local adamantly disagree on how this deck should both be played and be built, but I'm open-minded. I will try his list. We'll see how we like it. Overall, there's not a whole lot super different. Hey, JJ. He's cut down one number of the rafts and like some of the early interaction, but then he added some essence scatters. This is mostly how we board's the big differences. We bought this sweet invocation today. The first invocation I bought on Moto. It was cheaper than the normal. What are you into today, Mr. JJ Steele? You having a good one? Enjoying that shopping and stuff? So today we're going to be sideboarding out sensors a lot. Don't know how I feel about that, considering I think it's a free roll to keep in the deck. And I think being able to keep decks off their 2 and 3 mana spells is incredibly good, but hey, what do I know? All I know. Sorry about being late today, by the way. I got distracted by poker. I bought something called a tabletop simulator, and let me go ahead and close this. Okay. I had to close that before somebody sent me something that shouldn't be read. So, yeah, bought something called tabletop simulator on stream, and I've been absolutely distracted by it. Hey, we got an opponent. Vehicle registered in Texas because it's going to save like, oh wow. That is very nice, man. Congratulations. Oh, and we get to play versus somebody who needs a pity chest. Do we really get to take a pity chest from somebody? Game 1, round 1? That sounds like a Ricky thing to do. By the way, Ricky is the person who designed this build of the deck. He is in chat with us. So, of course, we get to do this. And we're versus some other Glacial Fortress type deck right now. I think they have to have those in Virginia as well. Here in Kentucky, they don't really care what you drive. We drew a bunch of white cards. That's fun. Could be like gifts though, so like these could be reasonable. There's another white card. Typically versus most Glacial Fortress decks, you do not ever want to draw these white cards, but like again, he could be playing gifts or like Drakehaven or something, so like there's some percentage chance that they're usable. If he's Drake, since he's pretty much Drakehaven if he's playing that card, which means we're pretty well just gonna start cycling this stuff now. I think there are some blue-white decks that run Renewed Fate and like Rejuvenating Ritual or whatever, but they're pretty uncommon. Typically when you see Renewed Fate, it's Drakehaven. Actually, I'm going to play this now. Because I would play an Ascanta if we drew it. But that's the main reason that we went ahead and played that. 1 and 4 with Temur Energy got wrecked by red. Yeah, man, I can't figure out how to beat those matches consistently. They tell me I'm a favorite versus red, but like unless I have multiple magma sprays in my main deck, I typically just never beat red, and like I don't feel like I want multiple magma sprays in my main deck. Let's go ahead and play another land first. Just in case he had like double 1-drop cycler for his countervailing winds. Temur Energy decks are hard to beat too, like, or sorry, the 4-color energy decks are too, like, people say you don't need the black cards, and maybe versus the field you don't, because it does make your mana a little awkward, but like, it just seems like it punishes the mirror so hard on when I look at it on paper. But I don't really know. And don't care if this gets counterspelled, hard slamming it this turn. Obviously never care if the first one gets counterspelled. Have to be more mindful of any more that we play. There's only 3 in the deck, so we can't let them all get counterspelled. It's not really cycling much this game. Oh, my stomach's starting to hurt like immediately. Go ahead and play this during his upkeep. I actually want that. I think Ascanta's that good that I don't mind to try to get that back. So here's Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter is a great, great card. That doesn't do anything in this particular match. They can do things post-board. They have Torrential Gearhulks, Regal Caracals, things like that. Kind of odd that he cycled an Illumination instead of just hard casting it versus another control deck. I'm going to go ahead and use this now. I don't want him just to be able to countervailing winds it. Which I guess he technically still can. Actually, for some reason, didn't realize he had the extra land there. That was stupid of me. Ends up not mattering, but was still a bad play of me. I thought he only had 2 lands untapped when I cast it. Hey! Yes. Guess I shouldn't press F6. There might be some reasonable chance for them to have Gearhulk in the main deck. Oh, they have their engine in play now, and they have 1,000,000 mana. So our Abandoned Sarcophagus is like the next real decision point, like trying to fight versus it. Yes. It's going to be hard to mill them, because they got to Drakehaven fairly early. I don't think we can mill them when they still have 37 cards when they resolve the first Drakehaven. But I don't know that to be accurate. I don't want either of those. Guess I'll take this, because I don't really want either of those either. Not going to play that, I don't think. It's too easy for him to have a counterspell here. Probably should have Glimmered during my upkeep, to be honest. I just feel like he doesn't even have Cyclers. Guess I'll put both of those on the bottom too, even though I wouldn't mind a land. The odds of finding a land are pretty high. I'm just going to leave that in the deck. Alright, no lands. No lands ever. So probably try to play the cast out on his turn now. If he cycles enough things, we might try to cast out now. May not to. He'll settle. Don't want him to get more lands. Abandoning the sarcophagus is really the bigger issue right now. And he still has like 6 more cards than us, and we only have 3 rivulets in our deck in general. What is this? That's his search. Well, we have a new card that we're worried about. Could have tapped my mana differently. That was bad of me. My life doesn't actually matter though. We could just try to play this. Doesn't seem like it does much. Don't mind putting a settle in the graveyard either because of the torrential. We're now 9 cards deeper in our deck than him. Nope. I agree. He's not. But I want some way to deal with our Abandoned Sarcophagus in case he untaps and tries to resolve one. I don't want him to get 2 casts out of him. And there's the card that I wanted. Obviously, we already had that card once before. Hey, morning now. What's up, man? Just gonna cast an approach this turn, I think. I don't really think it gets better for us not to. I assume he just has countervailing winds, and we lose. I believe us to have 0 outs at this point. But we'll find out. I don't even think we can mill him at this point. Without the 4th rivulet, it's pretty hard to mill them if they get this early. If they get it late, you have more options. If you get it earlier, just kind of SOL. I can tap my mana a lot better, but I'm not super worried about it. Alright. Goodbye. At this point, I think we could probably just save time and concede. But this is typically how this match plays out. This is like very typical of how that match plays out. If they get even a remotely early Drakehaven, it resolves anyway. You can't actually beat them with the Gearhulk either because they have all these fumigates and settles that just are like rotting away in their hand. I highly disagree with both of those points. He casting out the Drakehaven, we still just lose. His Search for Azcanta is better than his Drakehaven by a lot. Like, it's not even close. It's better by a lot. Because he has hard counterspells in his main deck, we don't. So no matter how he plays, if he has 4 countervailing winds in his deck, we can never resolve one of 4 approaches. And we only even have 3 approaches. As long as he plays correctly, he literally can't lose the game. You're saying that I shouldn't have gotten my Azcanta out. We didn't even have an approach or anything at that time. Now, I'm pretty sure we didn't make a mistake either of this. I'm pretty sure we haven't made a mistake this game. Fight over what? I don't know what you're wanting me to fight over. I don't want either of these cards. I have no idea what you're saying. If he has anything, we pretty well just scoop here. We scoop pretty much anyway. Like I said, we've been dead on board for 7 or 8 turns. So absurdly typical of the match. Going into the sideboard, we probably want this. We probably want these. We probably want this. We probably want this. We probably want these. We probably want some number of these. Can't move them. Might want them all. I'm not actually sure. We've got to figure out what we can sideboard out first. Gideon's terrible in this match. Ever Meltdown's terrible in this match. Some number of Fumigates and Settles are also terrible in this match. You want some, but you don't want them all. I've never had an extra cast out for his Drakehaven. You're under the impression that he's going to try to save his Drakehaven. He's not going to try to save his Drakehaven. He doesn't have to. He doesn't need to. The Drakehaven means literal nothing to him. Yes, I used one to get my Azcanta back, my best card, and one to get rid of his Azcanta, his best card. He would not have protected the Drakehaven unless he's a bad player. Anyway, back to how we're sideboarding. So, do you like Fumigates or Settles more? Like, we definitely don't want the Essence Scatters. Or do we want the Essence Scatters? Because we know they're bringing in Gearhulks. I personally think Fumigate's better, but like I said, it's his list. So within reason, we'll listen to him. Still have to discard 5 more. We have to sideboard out 5 more cards if we want to bring in these. I guess we can sideboard out Sensors. You don't like Sensors anyway. Okay. I'll take out Essence Scatter since he doesn't like them. We'll play first. And hand's really bad, but I'm going to keep it. 100% agree, George. But this, like I said, this is Ricky's list. Not really worried about authority in the match. I don't care too much how much life they have. Or how much life I have. And when they bring Drake Havens in, they bring them in at the end of their turn anyway. So they might as well just be tapped. I don't think gaining an arbitrary amount of life is what matters in a control mirror. I didn't even know I sided this in. I forgot I sided that in. Do we just slam this on 5? Or do we wait till later in the game? I have double glamour. I guess we can do 1 on 4, 1 on 5, but I just want to play this on 5 if I have access to it on 5. I probably shouldn't though, especially if I don't have a Fumigate to kill Vers. Hey, he's missing land drops. Well, was missing land drops. I mean, he can obviously still hit one. I mean... He hit his land. Kind of want both those, but I'm not going to keep the cast out right now. Definitely going to keep a land though. I sideboard that card out in this match. Yep. He's still missing land drops, it appears. Okay, I'll keep it to Gearholt. Hey, Search for Ascanta. That's Bay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I'm going to be getting back into Moto. What made you decide that? I honestly would not put a penny in Moto right now. I hate to say that because I love Wizards of the Coast, but you could not pay me to put money into this game. I want to try to protect this. I feel like it's worth protecting this. Is it snowing? I don't know. I've not looked outside today. Apparently it is snowing. I have no idea. I've left my room today practically long enough to get a snack. Pretty sure I want to protect it. Goodbye, Search. We will miss you. Oh, it's not a Search. Okay. So we don't have anything we can really cycle to get the guaranteed flip. We need 2 things, so just draw our card. I actually want the land. I don't want to miss a land drop. Binding a clock. In fairness, I probably should have cast out it. Yeah, no, I probably shouldn't have cast out it. I'm worried about his own cast outs or bindings, but I probably shouldn't be. That's an odd card to sideboard in my opinion. But what in the heck do I know? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another Ixalan's binding. I kind of want to keep that one too. Not putting that in the graveyard. I personally think Drake Haven's is a considerably better deck, and the answer to answer your question, neither. If that's your only choices, I think Drakehaven's better. I don't think either's currently good. I think Drakehaven's like tier 2 and Approach is like tier 1 or like tier 2.5, but like the tier 1 deck is so much ahead of them. I didn't play the Gearhulk because I didn't have enough mana for the negate on top of that. And the cat doesn't really do anything. It can't even attack. Like, the cat itself can attack, but like the two little tutus can attack, so like doesn't seem like it's very profitable to play it. I will cast a Gearhulk this turn now that we have a negate backup though. Actually try to block too. It's still the best deck, but I understand that. I don't want to play it either. I'm in the camp of people should probably just save their money till a better season. I got censored wrecked. Get to flip Nazcanta now, though. What do we got here? An Opt. Currently have 3 more lands than our opponent, which is pretty huge in these type of mirrors or matches in general. Like, the Regal doesn't even attack great here. Just gotta keep leaning on Nazcanta. Hopefully we can win a counterspell war at some point. It's like tapping 3 mana. I think he's trying to play a Drakehaven and not understanding that he can't. Could be trying to play a Sarcophagus as well. We have a we have a binding opponent. Yeah. Pretty sure that's what was happening there. Don't know it to be a fact that that's what's happening, but I believe it was probably what was happening. I guess we can attack if we play that. Attacking's fun. I got crushed with it again yesterday. I think I'm 3-7 with it on stream. I've not played particularly well, but I have not had very good results with it at all. Actually, just gonna attack here. He uses up most of his mana if he blocks and makes a 4/4. Like, I feel like his bug disc list is actually very good. I feel like I just played poorly, ran poorly, but I'm not sure. Or maybe I played it once off stream before the 3-7 and like I crushed with it. Maybe I just ran good at that point. I don't know. Sure, that's a magic card. See if we can find us a counter spell. Answer is so far no. Answer is still so far no. that's what I expected him to do. So, should be locking up the game this turn. So we're going to binding his binding. Or sorry, binding his cast out, so we don't have to worry about his cast outs anymore. And then we're going to binding his Drakehaven. And then we're going to cast out his Abandoned Sarcophagus. And this should lock him completely out of the game. Unless he has some card that I'm not thinking about. Because he's already got one Abandoned in his graveyard. Assume that locks him out of the game. He's got like some Gear Hulks and some Caracals and stuff like that, but I don't think we lose if we shut off Drakehaven permanently. Like it's pretty key to like stop the cast out war. I don't think I want to attack with the Regal Caracal anymore. Since Gear Hulks is his way to win, I don't want to give him a 3-block. And at this point, I believe we can probably mill him if we want. I think it's easy for us to find a counterspell or something before we make another play like that. We have some cards to play with too, because we have 3 Rivulets in our deck. They typically play between 0 and 1. So we can do this crap for a while. And that card's going to be good here. If we'd drawn it early in the game though, when we wanted a Search, is my argument that I think Search is better than it, but what do we know? Or what do I know? Oh, so I just literally have everything now. I guess I'm just going to play this one. It's the safer one. Probably going to cast a Kefnet too. I don't think I care if he counterspells the Kefnet. And we'll probably protect the counterspell with, or we can protect the Kefnet with the negate. Alright, don't care about that guy. Goodbye. We got our first half of that. It's the second time he counterspelled the first half of that. If he had 3 counterspells in his hand, he had 3 counterspells in his hand. Can't really play around 3 counterspells. We did play around 2. He shouldn't be able to remove Kefnet from the game. I mean, he may have bindings or something in his sideboard. We don't know. He could have settled wreckages, so like the Kefnet may not even deal combat damage. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if it'd be impossible. Like, we only have 2 more negates and 1 more Gear Hulk. Sorry, we have 1 more negate and 1 more Gear Hulk in our deck. If he just draws, like, a settle and, like, 3 negates over a course of a few turns, we wouldn't be able to win, probably. But, anyway, he missed land drop 3, and he missed land drop 4, so that game was kind of gifted to us. Any different changes from the sideboard to the, or sorry, from play to draw? I think it stays pretty much the same. I think sensors are a little bit better on the draw, but you know, that's up to you. Let me know what you think, Ricky, because we'll be using your sideboarding plans today. I'll primarily make the decisions in game, but since it's your deck, you tell us how to sideboard. I would personally leave it the same, or I might bring in an additional sensor. But that's just me. I also think settles are technically better than fumigates, but I'm not actually sure about that either. So we'll give Ricky a couple seconds to see if he wants us to do anything differently here. Let me go ahead and move that over to the other side, in case I need to whisper Ricky anything in game. We don't have scatter in the deck. We don't even have scatter in the deck. Hey, Mark, what's up? All right, Ricky says we're good. Onward we go. Did you see my sweet pun on Twitter? This hand's pretty bad. I'd be tempted to mulligan this hand. I feel like all three of these cards are roughly mulligans in the early game. I'm going to assume Ricky wants me to keep it though, so I think I'll keep it. But I would personally mulligan it. I don't think this hand or deck mulligans very well in general though. Problem with mulliganing a hand like this is we have 6 of these cards in our hand, so like it's easy for us just to draw 1 or 2 of our 6 card hand. So like say this card isn't here, we're still drawing 1, like it's pretty hard to get better with 5 cards. So I feel like you might have to keep it anyway. Like the best you can do is really 1 card better and we already have 3 lands. Alright, Ricky agrees, mulligan. The hand was considerably better. But again, like I was saying, the odds are we're going to draw 1 of these back. So the best we can do is 1 card better. But we can potentially get mana screwed trying to do 1 card better. That's the problem. But the odds of redrawing the Supreme Will or you know, Fumigate and or Approach is very, very high. Do have another Binding. Bindings are fun cards. They're a little less good on the draw because they get to play Drakehaven on 3 and untap and protect it on 4. Unless we like nail that, you know, negate or whatever. Or if they play around it. But they might not play around it depending on how many cards they have and all that. If you just have 2 Drakehavens, you slam 1 on 3, you could care less if they have a spell. Yeah. He very likely has 2 Drakehavens in his hand if he's trying that already. Could have played a Rivulet. For some reason I like to hide those for as long as I can. Always feel like I'm trying to surprise people and beat them with them. But I don't think this game really comes down to that. Because I can't afford APAC basics, so why would I have them? Do you wanna trade me $40 and $20 lives or cards in real life? I guess we have to take the cast out. Pretty sure I cast out at the end of his turn and then he's going to counterspell it or something, maybe. And then try to binding on the following turn. I don't know if that's accurate. If he taps out, could go ahead and try to cast out this turn. Fifth land. That's good for him. Is it a kitty cat? He's tapping 3 lands. It's a sarcophagus. It's pretty darn early in the game for that spell. I guess we're gonna go ahead and Supreme Will it. I think he'll probably protect it with something if he has one. Rip. Did not protect it. But yeah, I don't own APAC lands, and I really can't afford them. Heck, I can't afford the betas I want. Okay. Doesn't change much. by Mr. Cast Out. So we have to fade his Cast Out for a while. He's down to 2 cards though. And I feel like one of them was a Drakehaven already, so it gives us some amount of chances. Kinda just want to play this. I feel like it gives us the highest upside to win. If it resolves, we don't even lose an attack, and we could have baited him into playing like a Gearhulk that we could fumigate on the following turn or something. Fumigating 4 power off the board just so he can put 4 more power on the board doesn't seem like it's very profitable for us. So we know we're 6 cards down. Don't know if the second, we don't know if it'll resolve when we get there, but that's where we're at the moment. Go ahead and try to cast a Fumigate here. Stay alive for a little while. I'll probably rivel it myself, but I'm not 100% sure. Really depends on what he spends his turn on. So I can decide how valuable I think that land is. So there's a Regal Caracol. Alright, I don't think this land's particularly valuable then. So now we know it's 2 cards down, 1 card down after our draw step. He's got 1 card in hand. So we have a negate here if he tries to protect that. As of right now, looking pretty good. He's not drawn an Ascanta really in 2 games really. Still gets to put on a fair amount of pressure though. So like we're drawing our approach, we can just slam it. If he has a Censor, we lose, or we can try to draw 2 lands. Not actually sure what's the better option. I feel like I just want to cast approach right now. I don't think he has a counterspell. He's not played to me like he has a counterspell. Even if he does have a counterspell, like he gets to get another 4 damage on the following turn. So like we're going to be dropping to 17 and we're on a 3-turn clock. The odds of hitting 2 lands out of the top 3 are pretty low anyway. Alright, so we got past this. Game 1 went like clockwork for them. Game 3, they drew this really weird draw. I do not bring in the Sunscourge Champions and stuff like this versus them. Like, if I'm playing the Drakehaven deck, I do not bring in cards like this in this match. I don't think the match revolves around these cards at all. I have no idea what he took out for them. I would literally rather have a whatever you call it, renewed faith in either of those cards. But anyway, 1-0. Proven Ricky right since what is this? 1257? I wonder all who's in here today. I haven't been keeping up with this very much. Hey, JJ left. I guess he got tired of listening to us to argue. Testament Weekend? WKD? I don't know what that is. Hey, Blaine Blair. He's the guy that I was playing poker with. He is the funny guy at the table. Anyway, again, hello guys. My name's Searsist. If you like what you're watching, please give us a follow. And if you look at the links below the stream, there's a link to my Twitter that you can follow and see every time we go live, every deck list we play, random opinions on this and that, and everything LeBron James. There's actually nothing about LeBron James on it, but he's my favorite basketball player. And there's also a link to my YouTube down below. On the YouTube, I post all of our past streams, so you can find them anytime you want. And if you're already watching from the YouTube and you're interested in either finding the Twitch chat, the Twitter, or the deck list for that particular day, you can always look in the description below the video. There's my spam. I like to throw it out after every match that I win. It's a little reward to myself. We denied our opponent a pity chest. I feel bad about it, but since we're playing Ricky's deck, we're supposed to feel good about it, right? Because Ricky is a rude human being. I believe this hand's a keep versus most decks. I actually put a lot of stock into the sensors. Me and Ricky value that card very differently. And in worst case, they cycle. But the big important thing is we have a Settle to Wreckage right now, which is good versus practically every deck in the format. Especially game 1. So I think this is a pretty easy keep. We also have the approach already. Trying to be as informative as I can, but at this point, playing, you know, after 500 or 600 matches with approach, like, it starts to get clockwork, so it's really hard for me to think of things to say, so I apologize if I'm quite boring at all when I play approach. Or if I'm boring at all in general. I've recently been told I sound like Kermit the Frog, which was a new one for me, and only mildly offensive. It's not offensive at all. I don't actually care. I'm just trying to be funny. Get out of here, Rogue Repooper. Just get out of standard. We're tired of you. Go away. Guess we'll play this one so we can cast both of these and maybe censor or maybe get rid of this cast out if we want to. Oh, Rogue Refiner, we do not miss you. We do not love you. You're not our friend. Go away, Rogue Refiner. Again and again. There is Essence Scatters in this deck, so it's worth to go ahead and spend the first opt. Kinda want to keep the land, but I don't think it's actually worth keeping the land, so... Goodbye, Mr. Opt. We will miss you. You were our favorite opt, but maybe this opt will be better. We got 23 people today. Big time. Stop beating us. Cats are not supposed to be mean. Cats are supposed to just hate you and like stare at you and not love you. They're not supposed to like beat up on you. To the bottom, friend. Go ahead and cycle this at this point as well. I think we're past the point of caring about a sensor. Oh no, we're not. I'm wrong. Never past caring about sensor. You always have sensor. We are, however, I think the only thing I'm actually worried about the rest of this game now is if they draw Chandra. I mean, I guess if they have the Black Splash, I would also care about potentially a Veraska. But I'd say this game's going, you know, paint by numbers. We're looking pretty good in this spot. They could have main deck counterspells too. I guess that's something we could also care about, but I mean, that's nothing that you can care about, because like, you just can't really think about stuff like that. Just make the best decision you can every turn. They have some off-the-wall cards, you know. Can't hurt your current game plan to beat something you don't know about, is what I'm trying to say. Like, we have something we're specifically trying to do. Alright, so cross our fingers and scream no Chandra. I mean, that's fine. I like being able to counterspell. If I'm on the play, I like being able to counterspell Lone Tusk Cub, and I like to be able to counterspell any 3-drop that they play on 3 and any 4-drop that they play on 4. Like, keeping them off tempo makes our settles better. I'm not worried about the, like, turn 7 sensor. That's always going to be cycled, but stopping their tempo early gives us extra turns to draw in the settle or to like find a better settle and or fumigate. Obviously, the board wipes are the best things you can have in this particular match. Like, it doesn't get better than board wipes in this match. Is this another cub? Another cub, which means we're just gonna play the other approach. Or sorry, the other settle. Looks like we're gonna play infinite settles this game. A settle a day will keep the doctor away. Brian Smith in... Well, sorry, I probably shouldn't say his name, but that's fine. Nobody even knows where we live. Brian from the PPTQ, I played him round 5. He had 3 settles and a fumigate game 1 versus me. I was like, stop hurting me. Just let me attack you with my little nice friendly red-green creatures. By the way, we've cast 2 settles on him and he's not got a swamp yet. So we can assume he's just blank Temur. We only have 5 lands. We don't have a 6th land. Untapped or not, we couldn't cast the Gearhulk there. In fact, this is the only way that we can cast a Gearhulk on the following turn. Because now we have the 6th land and it comes into play untapped. No worries. It's easy to miss. It's no problem. I understand that you I know you know that Gearhulk costs 6. Yeah. No, I get that, bro. I get that. I was explaining for anybody who may have not been paying attention or not super familiar with the cards, etc., etc. Get settled. Hopefully he doesn't have a counterspell. Don't you do it. Alright. He did not do it. He also has no energy now. The funny thing is we might be able to win this game the fair way. Just by, like, doing attack shenanigans. Or we could just untap and draw a land and not worry about having to attack. That would be fun too. Seems like it's another Whirler Virtuoso, probably. Yep. We have 14 life, but... Oh, and he's got a friend with it? Okay, it's just an Abrade. I guess we're probably not winning by attacking then. So, untap land? Ah, yes. Our deck loves us today. Some days, things just come up array. So he's down to 1 card. We're going to be able to... If we draw a land, he gets 1 more attack step after this turn. That's a good one. Oh, wow. So the opponent is going to get to apply a reasonable amount of pressure. And that is a land. So pop. Take it up on you. Play you. Pass turn. Honestly, the opponent did really, really well considering we cast 3 settles. So we know it's 6 cards down. This is going to be 4, this is going to be 5, and our draw step is going to be 6. So we know we're drawing approach this turn, and he's hellbent, so the game's just over. So because he's hellbent, as soon as I get priority back, I'm just going to go ahead and do my stuff so we can press F6. As soon as we get priority. Our opponent's name is Manuel Jacob, by the way. I wonder if that's a budget form of Michael Jacob. Which, by the way, is somebody I consider one of the best players in Magic. Highly recommend his stream for anybody who's not watched it, especially if you like limited shenanigans. There will be no blocks. There will be many approaches. Here Here, you can see the sun for the second time, friend. Oh friendo, oh friendo. Get second sun-a-rendoed. Alright, so versus straight Temur, you typically take out 1 opt, 3 sensors. What else did you say? I think you said a Supreme Will, a Gideon. I love Gideon in this match. And a Search. I love Search in this match. And you bring in a Gear Hulk, an Essence Scatter, a couple Bindings, and all 3 negates. Not a massive fan of the negates, but that's okay. And that's how you sideboard. Not a big fan of the negate because the cards that they're counterspelling are your 4 and 5 mana spells. That's the only spells that really matter for them. Like, they're not trying to counterspell your approach. They're not trying to win a counterspell war over getting a creature resolved. They're trying to stop exactly Fumigates and exactly Settles. And if you're trying to stop exactly Fumigates and exactly Settles that need to be cast on curve, you don't have the extra mana for the negates. I haven't been doing particularly well with it either, but we're trying Ricky's deck today. He just top 8'd a PPTQ. He may have been able to win. Who knows? He scooped to his top 8 opponent because friendo. So, trying out his list using his sideboard plan. Don't agree with anything, but maybe I'm getting educated. Who knows? Or I don't agree with a lot of the things, but maybe I'm getting educated. Alright, the third approach to the Second Suns is generally not what we want to see. I think the hand was a pretty easy keep though. They're a little light on interaction, but generally you can afford to be a little light on interaction. It's kind of odd. You should... Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, if you're going to play a 3-drop, you should always play it post or before you attack, pre-attacks, just in case. We're currently 1-0? 1-0 and up a game, I believe is what we are. Actually beat a match I consider very hard. So that was pretty nice. Really need to draw the land next turn. Don't draw the land next turn, we're probably dead on the spot. Unless it's something that like can cycle into a land. Oh yeah. Gotta have the land next turn, and he has to brick on a counterspell. Rip! Alright, can't win. Can't possibly win. He can kill us in 2 attacks, so even if we were to luckily draw a land or a settle next turn, I don't know. If we draw an untapped land next turn, we could Binding and still be alive, assuming he has nothing. If he has things, that doesn't work. Let's see. Yep, that is what I refer to as things. Alright, so we're dead on board. We literally have no out. Our 1 out is draw a plains, play it, he'll play around settle, but you should always send a lethal attack even if you are playing around settle. Didn't draw it anyway, so we'll go ahead and concede, move on to game 3. I think the hand was a good keep. It was a little slow, but... And he didn't give us anything different really to do on the draw. He said if you see Supreme Wills and stuff like that, play a more controlling package, but we have no idea if we're playing those cards. We didn't see those cards, so we're just going to resubmit. I actually really like Regal Caracol in this match. I was surprised he doesn't bring it in. I think it buys you so much time on the ground and lets you play around their negates. This hand looks like it's a pretty clear keep. How you been doing today, Murph? You having a good time? By the way, I finally checked. All of my Search for Azcantas have the yellow. Like all of the ones that I opened from packs, all of the new cards that I've got from Wizards for Redemption have the blue. Don't know whether we'll cycle to cast out or not. Think we might wait 1 turn before we make that decision. Serving a conduit. Probably hold it then. I think Essence Scatter is absolutely fantastic in this match. If you're not expecting to play any versus like any Glacial Fortress decks, Essence Scatter should be a 2 to 4 of in this deck, I believe. Oh, sorry, bub. I apologize. I talk so much on stream that it's hard for me to keep up with it all sometimes. I think we're going to cycle the cast out now because we kind of want to play the Glimmer next turn anyway. Drawing the farmlands is a little awkward because I kind of want to play the farmlands the following turn as well. I guess since we drew a binding, it's fine not to. Just, hey, Dumbo, what's up, man? I saw you playing golf again today. That game looks really, really good. I wish I had time to sit down and learn it. Yeah, do your worst, opponent. I'm going to go ahead and do this now just for some reason in case they have Spell Pierce in their deck to give them one less draw step. I don't really care if they like untap or like spend 2 mana and play another creature or whatever. Our goes to very likely just cast this binding on something next turn anyway and look to fumigate the turn after that. I wonder if I'm supposed to binding Rogue Refiner or Sermon though. Kinda want to get the Servant because it makes it harder for him to commit to the board and be able to protect from like a fumigate. Still has 6 cards in his hand. That's like a lot of cards. Like 6 cards is more than 5 cards, and 5 cards is more than 4. So that means like 6 cards is a lot more than 4. I'm being a goofball today because I'm feeling froggy. So what are we going to get now? He tapped 2 blue and a green, which makes me think he's trying to play a Rogue Refiner. So he's got the 3rd Rogue Refiner in his hand? That's a pretty good draw. Good analysis. Yeah, I think I was pretty spot on with that one. Opponent can't trick me. I know you can't do that. What are you casting now? It's like you're trying to cast an X spell or something. Ah, Whirler Virtuoso. Hello, Whirler. Yeah, is there a negate in our future? Because we're certainly untapping and slamming. Huh. Kinda don't want to slam now. Kinda want to play this. Nah. It's too much upside to play this one. Getting a counterspell out of his hand for approach seems good. He didn't have one. And Torrential Gearhulk seems like it's better on the ground regardless. Probably just going to slam an approach next turn, but if he builds out a fat board, we may like Glimmer or something. Oh wow, he didn't do anything, so we're certainly slamming approach then. And we don't care if the first one ever gets counterspelled. What has opponent got in his hand? He's got 4 cards drawing his 5th card, and like he's not playing anything when he has 6 mana? Did our opponent really? Is it just literally all Rogue Refiners? Alright. 2-0. All Rogue Refiners. Confirmed. And as I like to do after every one match, I like to advertise. So if you guys like what you're seeing, make sure you click the follow button and follow the links to the end below the stream, and you'll see a link to my Twitter where you can see every time we go live, all the deck lists we play, all the random musings and thoughts we have about things. And you can also see a link to our YouTube where you can find all of our past broadcasts. And on the YouTube, if you're already watching from there and you're curious about any of these links, keep in mind that you can always look in the description in every video and find a link to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the deck list for that particular video. We try a large variety of decks here, but Approach is our favorite deck, so we try to at least play it once or twice on most weeks unless we're seriously testing for something. But we try to hit about all the decks. Anything that 5-0s, anything that does well in an event. Just try them all. Play like 99.9% standard, but sometimes you'll see a like commander deck or something pop up. I throw up a blue-white cycling build. Sure, I'll throw up a list. Not done any real work with it. It's pretty close to the I can't pronounce things. Gunglowski? Or Canister. I'll just say his moto name. Canister, by the way. He's a streamer too, if you guys want to look up Canister. It's pretty close to his list. The only real difference is he has one Drakehaven in the sideboard, and he has a third Search for Azcanta main. I'm absolutely positive the third Search for Azcanta needs to be in the main. I do not know what to cut, though, and I do not want to cut the Drakehaven, so I don't really know. But that's where I come to the deck. But here you go if you want to screenshot it or whatever. Sorry, let me pull it out a little bit more because there's 2 more Torrential Gearhulks over here. So, you know, like, click the screenshot button or whatever, and we'll jump back into our match. Alright, so back to the match. We will play first. And this hand's acceptable. It's pretty hard to mulligan any hand with this deck that's got, like, some scrying or drawing, some cycling, you know, and a couple lands. Fumigate. Or especially when you have, like, some early interaction, like a Meltdown or a Supreme Will or something. It's just very, very hard to get rid of any of these type of hands. And we're currently online playing for a pity chest, so high roller time. Let's get that pity chest and feel real good about ourselves. So opponent kept us 7. And he's playing something where he led with a red mana. Well, guess we'll play this because we know we're going to cast Opt and we don't know whether we'd want to cycle a Censor and or a Cast Out on this following turn. It gives us the best options. Alright, so it's Mono Red, what I consider to be the hardest match. Oh, it's Treasure Red. So I do not consider Treasure Red to be particularly hard. I actually disrespect Treasure Red so much that I'm willing to keep a Search for Azcanta versus them, which might just be lunacy. Might just be lunacy to keep this card versus our red deck. Yeah, cycling is an absurdly cheap deck. It's actually pretty good too. Like, I'm a pretty large fan of the cycling deck. I think we want to keep the land, even though cycling it feels fairly good. They do have an abnormal amount of. They have a lot of Chandras in their main deck. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But long story short is, I'm probably not going to ever cycle this cast out because of that, so I'll probably take 3 damage this turn from the Karl Zev. If he taps his mana in his main phase for like a Rampager or something, you know, who knows what we'll do. Also kind of want to cast out the treasure map, so. Really, you don't play versus red. I play versus it at least once per league on average, I think. Sometimes more often than that. Fair enough. Thanks, Fox. I am not an educated man. I don't know if you can tell. Spoiler, I'm not smart. For those who don't know, I'm not a very smart man. Actually afraid of that treasure map. This might be a little aggressive. I'm used to lists that have 4 cast outs, and we might not be able to get another cast out in time for a Chandra. But, so it might be a little bit too aggressive in this particular scenario. I'm not 100% sure. We'll go ahead and pop this. If he has the land for the Glorybringer, we just lose 2 net damage total, and we have a Meltdown for the Glorybringer, so that's not that big of a deal. He's got a Hazoret. They typically play between 1 and 0 of those in the main deck. An island to our graveyard. Probably not, because we're going to want to cast a Meltdown and a Glimmer this turn, I think. Surprised he didn't throw a burn spell of some kind at us. They typically have a bunch of burn spells. Alright, this is 2 damage to my face. And this thingy. I actually think this thingy is good enough to counterspell. This drops us down to 1, but, you know, we're still in a bit of a clock here. Farmland to the graveyard, snap yes. Alright, cast out. Cast out gives us a nice insurance policy. What do we got going on here? It's just a random 2 damage to our head. Beat a GFG deck yesterday where my opponent was so bad he was using Minister to mill and me instead of him. I mean, that's a reasonable line. Like, you can often mill out the approach decks. It depends on the entire game state and all of that, though. You know, like, you don't just blindly do it. You have to know you can do it. I think I'm going to cast out here. Feel like if we get this off the board, we're probably going to be in good enough shape that that's kind of bad for us. We're going to take another 5 damage next turn. Glacial Fortress to the graveyard, yes. Flip this, yes. Alright, so we're going to pass turn here. Yeah, he should not be doing it that early in the game. Like I said, it's a game state dependent thing. You just can't do it early. You have to be you have to leave yourself protected and all that. So we're gonna take at least 2 more damage here. Yeah, I do not recommend making that play. So go ahead and do this. We're just looking for an approach. One of those isn't an approach. The other one is a settle. The settle, I guess, is okay. It does stop us from taking damage from the zombies for at least a turn. I'll put that one on the bottom and this one on top, I guess. That also helps us play around Zombros. And that's a nice draw. Pretty happy about drawing the Field of Runes. Certainly not in great shape here, though. I mean, we're fine. We're at 7 life. We have a few turns, but like we have to get there, and we have to get there reasonably soon. But we'll go ahead and knock that off, so in case he draws like another desert or whatever, he doesn't get that value. That value, friends. Gets this second zombie, but we already have a settle to wreckage for it, and if he just attacks with 1, we can melt down it and still use Search for Azcanta. He knows we have to settle. We revealed the settle. It's the beautiful thing about Search for Azcanta. Or not Search for Azcanta, Settle. Like, when they play around Settle, they play into all the other things. Really just wanting to fade a Chandra? Rip. Did not fade a Chandra. Alright, now we're just really wanting to get to approach and get there fast. Guess what those cards are not? Those cards are not approach. How much land do we have? We have enough that we can do this and cast approach if we hit, right? Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do not. Alright then. Alright. Not fun. I guess we could look for the cast out. Yeah, I guess we'll look for the cast out then. I think we're actually going to use Glimmer to look for it, because if it happens to be a Torrential Gearhulk, we could always Gearhulk back another Glimmer while being able to block the Zombro. Now, opponent has stopped for some reason. Opponent has stopped for some reason. Not sure why. But we're waiting for our turn. Yeah, it takes me a while to think about plays like that. I'm not used to having the Gear Hulk in the main deck. Okay, opponent's DC'd, so we have to wait for opponent to DC. Or for opponent to return. And while we're waiting for opponent to return, let's get down. Woo woo! What you gonna do when they come for you? Singing songs every day. Singing songs, baby. Alright, I'll stop. I lied. I'm back. What modern deck would I play? I'm not allowed to say on stream, Dumbo, but I will send you a message and let you know later. Because if I say it on stream, my rich friend's going to try to buy it for me, and he's not allowed to buy it for me. Oh my god, I have 63 new emails. So much work. I'm just going to go ahead and close that, and we'll read these later. I posted 88 auctions last night on eBay, and I posted quite a few of them with, I will accept best offers. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a flood of like 3 things selling and like 4 spam articles, and then like 60 or whatever people like offering me like $5 for four Verascas because I forgot to uncheck that button. Hey, there's decent folks streaming right now. Apologize, guys, for this little bit of downtime here. There's nothing I can do about my opponent DCing. Nothing at all. What's my eBay? I don't even know. There's nothing special on it, man. It's just Ixalan cards. There's literally just Ixalan cards. There is literally nothing special on it. I don't actually know what it is off the top of my head. There is no international shipping, I'm sorry. Shipping costs way too much, and I sell way too many cheap things. I legitimately do not know how to find this without... I bet I can pull it up on the other monitor. You didn't lose money on her. You won a PPTQ with her. Think you're fine, little bubby. I quit calculating it, but we were at when we'd hit 100 matches, we were still 80%. But I quit calculating it, and it has dropped some since then. I don't know what it is anymore. Like I quit keeping notes because why did I quit keeping notes? Oh, because I couldn't ever figure out how to use a spreadsheet properly, and it just looked so ugly. Sorry, mate. I think this is it. Yeah, that's me. I found me. See seller's other items. Womp womp womp. Oh wow. Some decent stuff sold. Opponent's still not back again. I highly apologize. I don't think he DC'd intentionally though. Like, remember this is just game 1. Also, keep in mind that he's playing Desert Red. He's not playing an aggro Red. I consider Desert Red to be a very good match for us. Like, there's not Earthshaker Kenras, there's not Haste Creature, you know, not as many Haste Creatures, things like that in this build. It has a lot of things like main deck Magma Spray, so it has like a lot of dead cards in these matches. It has like main deck, what is it? Where's it at? Main deck Sand Stranglers. Like, I consider this an actual good match for Approach. That's not bad at all. Yeah, but I think it's just a legit DC. Wouldn't mind him to come back. Interested in playing out the game. Not only is it kind of boring for us to sit here 10 minutes, like, I don't know. I don't like winning like that. Sure, there's money on the line. I should be excited anytime I win, but I care more about the actual playing of the game than winning or losing. I don't know. I'm a purist. I just want to play, and I feel bad for them too, because like I used to have really bad internet, and I still don't have very good internet. But I remember losing matches because I couldn't get back on, and it just felt horrible every time. Like, I just felt so bad. Like, all I want to do is play Magic. Let me play. You know? But he may come back. He still has about 5-ish more minutes, I think. What was that? 129, 136? Yeah. About 5-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish minutes, somewhere in that area. Depends on what seconds, you know, these things are. I apologize for being kind of like boring during the downtime. I don't I don't know. Maybe I can do a comedy stand-up routine. That's what people really want to hear, right? They want to hear me either karaoke or do comedy. It could be either. Who knows? But that's what they want. The people want to listen to Ray be silly. Hey, opponent's back. Welcome back, opponent. You can't hear us, but still, welcome back, opponent. And he's back. He's got about 1 minute to make an action, though. Or less than 1 minute. Somewhere within a minute to make an action. You can do it, opponent. Come on. Everybody clap for opponent. You can do it. You can do it. Actually has like 2 minutes, I think. Karaoke and unfollow. He's back! There is magic to be played. So, bottom. Hey, there's an approach. That'll be good if we get another turn. I'm gonna keep counting the 6 mana over and over and over and hope I'm wrong. So if opponent hits lightning strike, we dead, fam. So Red Rover, no lightning strike in your hand, please. Yeah, so he's attacking with both. We have to settle. You know, nothing Nothing really to think about. No options. Just have to do that. And we have to hope to fade a lightning strike. Ah, sweet. Faded a lightning strike. Almost assuredly. Also really needed to fade a rampaging for Rostodon in that spot as well. So we go back up to 10 here. So we know it's 7 cards down. We're going to get 4 with the Azcanta. And then 4 with the Azcanta on our turn with enough mana left over to win. We could have left this up, if we had one less land or whatever, we could have left this up and done the same thing technically, but... Oh, we'll just put an approach in our hand. That works too. Alright. So we got there. Yeah, so cards that I like versus mono red. Personally, I like Authority of the Councils. I personally like Regal Caracols. I like Bindings. And I like Essence Scatter. Let's see what Ricky likes. He likes the same 9 cards. He takes out a Gearhulk. I agree. He takes out Glimmers. I would take out all 4, but he wants to take out 2, so we'll do what he does. He takes out all 3 Ops. That's reasonable. I would take out a Glimmer before I take out an Opt, but that's okay. And he takes out Gideon. I would never take out this Gideon. The Gideon, one of the only reasons I play Gideon is because of mono red. And then he takes out 2 Sensors. Again, I wouldn't take out Sensors. I would take out these 5 blue cards before I took out any of these 6 cards to start. But we're playing his list, and he's trying to prove to me that it is correct and that I just played a deck wrong. So we're going to keep going by what he says. Again, I feel like we're a favorite in this match either way. I don't think Treasure Red's that particularly good, so we don't have any interaction really. I think it's still a keep. I think it's very, very close to not keeping, but they are a little bit slower. Well, they had the Beaumont, but they don't always have the Beaumont, and we don't really have any way to stop a Beaumont anyway. Like, the Authority of the Councils would have been nice on turn 1, but other than that, let's set up with most of the cards we want. Really want to dodge a Caracol here? Or not a Caracol, Karl Zev. Alright, so we have a Sensor for a good play, we have a Meltdown for a good play. We're already at 15, going to 14 though. Yeah, that resolves, nothing I can do about it. I'm going to have Supreme Will next turn, so I probably will cycle to Sensor this turn. I also sideboard out Search for Azcantas in this match, and he left all 3, so I find that odd. Like, me and him just approach this match very, very differently. I have 3 cards in my hand right now that I would love to not have in my deck. I guess we have to take the damage. Because if he plays Chandra, we'd pretty much die on the spot, so we kind of like have to hold this for a Chandra this particular turn. We can cycle it at the end of turn as well if he doesn't play anything. Have to counterspell that one as well, it's just too powerful here. Alright. So onward we go. He's got 4 points of damage and runes in play. And we can't really stop any damage this turn unless we're going to like Meltdown on the Soulscar Mage, which I don't think I would bother to do unless he was throwing a burn spell at my head as well. So basically we're at an effective 6 life is what I'm trying to say. really hoping to hit something reasonable with this Glimmer. He missed a land drop, so he's probably got some pretty powerful things going on right now. Yeah, effective 4 life. Bottom and top. I guess that's all we can do. We get to gain 1 life this turn. Whoa! Whoa! He pressed F6 and didn't draw cards of his Beaumont. What in the world's in his hand? What's in his hand that he did not draw cards of the Beaumont? That blows my mind. There was like a million cards over there. Alright, so what do we got going on here? We definitely want to play a farmland, I believe. Because this is the only way that we guaranteed have mana next turn. We probably even want to cycle as well. So I don't think I'm going to play the Search for Azcanta. I think I'm going to leave both Effort Meltdowns up. I mean, his hand could be great. Like, it could have been like Hazoret and Glorybringer, or like Hazoret, Glorybringer, Chandra, or something like that. Like, I'm not saying it was a play mistake. I'm saying, oh my god, what is he getting ready to hit us with? Like, he struck the fear of Jesus in me is what I'm trying to say. And I probably shouldn't say something that sacrilegious on stream. I apologize, guys. So what do we got going on here? It's a Chandra. See, like I said, he could very easily had great reasonable cards. I wasn't saying it was a mistake. I was saying that as a measure of, oh my god, I'm X amount of worried now. We'll hold this in our hand because it helps us get back to the next approach, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and throw this on here as well. Because we know we're untapping and casting approach and going back to 11. So we don't want him to like draw a lightning strike and we take 2 extra damage when we can't resolve anything there. And we know he only gets this turn and 1 more turn, so. And he drew a pretty good card for the spot that he's in. We'll give him that. So we know it's 6 cards down after our draw step. We know we're taking 5 damage, so we're an effective 2 life next turn. Alright, so what is the best way for us to get 6 cards down? This puts us an automatic 4 cards down. So this guarantees gets us there. So we guaranteed win next turn if we survive this turn. Alright, we're just going to play our land in and pass. We just have to survive. He has to not find 2 points of damage. I mean, it uses most of his mana to cast the Ramunap runes right now, so like it's pretty hard for him to deal that 2 points of damage. I mean, we cast it exactly on turn 7, right? Alright. I guess I gotta concede to Ricky. He's right. None of these cards felt good. Never even cast a Search for Azcanta. Very likely to win. We've not won. Like, he can draw a Hazoret or like a Glorybringer or something. So, like, there's no guarantee that we win still. But even if he does draw either of those, we have like 1 farmlands to cycle to look for a settle. And or like cast out to get like a redraw into the approach. It'd be obviously a lot harder to hit the approach in that scenario. Yep. I agree 100%, Go. So what do we got going on here? Alright, that's 2 damage for Scavenging Grounds. We'll drop down to 4 here after the Ferostodon. And I guess we're going to untap and win. And he's conceding? Oh, now I got a target player. As many times as I played that card, you'd think I would have remembered something that simple. And we have to go ahead and cycle. And untap and draw our approach and cast it. Not tapping to rivulet because I don't want to mess up and tap the wrong one. Alright, currently 3-0. We have locked up our pity chest and onward to the next round. I think I've spammed enough today, so I probably won't tell you guys that you should be, following and looking at the links below the stream right now. Won't tell you guys to do anything like that, and I'm not going to tell the YouTube people that there's links in the description that they may be interested in. I'll let you guys figure that out by yourself. Not saying a word. Nope. Not saying a word. Anyway, 3-0 right now. We've played a pretty decent variety of decks. We played versus Cycling, Desert Red, and just Stone Temur Energy. So we played a fairly good mix of decks so far today, and jumping right on into round 4. Oh, playing versus another 3-0, matchmaking at its best. Our opponent's name is Total Donkey. I do not believe a Total Donkey should be 3-0. I'm surprised donkeys can even play Magic, because, they don't have thumbs. So I do not believe we're playing versus a donkey. I think he's being misleading intentionally, to make me think that he can't use a mouse. That is rude of our opponent. So he's got a Scavenging Ground too. He could still be either a red deck. Red Rober, send no Karl Zev on over. Sweet, that is not a Karl Zev. Alright, let's just go ahead and opt, because if he had a Beaumont Courier, he would have already used it. Get out of here, friend, we want lands. Rip. He didn't play a 2-drop, so he probably has a 3-drop, which means I'm probably going to cycle to Cast Out as opposed to the Censor. And now we're going to put our head down in shame, as we don't want to get rid of this Censor, but I don't think I win a game where I don't play the 3rd land on turn 3. Spot on analysis is what you always get from me. They should hire me to cover football games. Alright. Well. I'm just going to play this while we can. We'll start ticking it up on this. If he misses a land drop again, we'll probably get to a point where we can start ultimating it. And I don't think missing this land drop's that terrible. It's only terrible if he hits a land and plays a haste free drop this exact turn. Oh look, there's a haste free drop this exact turn. Most of the decks don't even play these haste free drops anymore, or they only play 1 or 2, so I think that was a reasonable gambit. I also think I'm definitely looking for a land here. Get out of here. Rip. I have an Effort Meltdown at least that we can play. So it's another Cropper. So hopefully he doesn't have another 1-mana burn spell. Opponent has another 1-mana burn spell. Tilt. How do we win now? I guess he could mess up and not kill the Gideon? Alright. It's really hard to win now. Somewhere over the rainbow we had lands, but now we don't, and we're sad again. I think Settle would have been fine, but he would have probably been able to resolve a Hazoret or a Chandra, and as long as he doesn't attack with them, they would have been real difficult to win with. Or real difficult to win against. But the game's not over. I mean, obviously we still have a chance. I'm just saying it's difficult from here. We've at no point lost this game. We're just not happy about it. If he casts out, he's probably attacking with them all, which is wonderful. So very wonderful. Okay. You may have another land, opponent. And we're going to untap and draw a land and cast one of these Fumigates. Told you. He's going to brick next turn, and then we're going to get this game over with. You can do it, opponent. Make me a truth teller. That's not brick. It's kind of bricking. Fine. I'll count that as a brick. It's not really a brick, though, because we have to waste a turn to kill it. I'm just in a wonderful, wonderful little mood. Hey, he got rid of our graveyard. I liked our graveyard. That was our graveyard. He should have left it the heck alone. Goodbye, Harsh Mentor. Hey, Shadow, what's up, man? I hope you're having a great, great day. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to take 3 more damage. I didn't want to take any more damage at all. I may cast out this. Not sure. Let's see what he does on his turn. I guess I will cast out it then, and I'll be upset to my stomach if things go awry here. Things did not go awry. Alright. What are we going to draw? So he's got like 1,000,000 lands. Hey, I think we're going to keep both of those. It's kind of weird that we're keeping a Rivulet in this spot, but a Rivulet is 4 turns quicker to drawing an approach. And we're still not perfect in this situation, so like we still have things to worry about here. He probably just drew that this turn. So he gets this attack step and 1 more attack step, and that's all he gets. Because we're going to play the Search for Azcanta and mill ourselves. Well, we potentially can. I guess it depends on what he plays. So he's got 1 card in hand. The odds of him killing us are pretty low. I'm going to put it at none with the Effer Meltdown in his hand, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have enough mana to do it all. So we know it's 6 cards down currently. We're going to get rid of 4 of them with the Rivulet, 1 of them with the Search for Azcanta, and then we're going to draw. So this worked out well. Goodbye, Desert. Yes. F6 has been pressed. And what are we going to do here? Alright. Game 1, locked, stocked, and ready to party. Alright, so what did Ricky tell us to do? He told us to bring in the Caracals. With the 9 cards we bring in, it's easy. Like, we don't even have to think about the 9 cards we're bringing in. Hey, JJ, did you hear that Local Dope won his local PPTQ this weekend? Congratulations to Local Dope, everybody. Separation anxiety. And what did he take out? He took out, he takes out the 3 ops, he takes out the Gideon, he takes out the Gearhulk, he takes out 3 sensors. And what else did he take out? Oh, he takes out 1 glimmer, is that right? No, he takes out 2 glimmers. What did I mess up then? Oh, he only takes out 2 sensors, sorry. And he takes out 2 glimmers. He takes out 3 sensors versus the other deck. I'm, try boarding out search over sensor, you said. Yeah, we'll take the 3 searches out, bring in the sensors, and I guess a Gideon because it seems better than one of the 4 drops. Okay. So Ricky said we could take the search out. He actually beat a sub to my channel in the top 4. Obviously, I was cheering for the sub because Local Dope will not sub to me. It's just rude. I think this is a pretty clear mulligan. It's just way too slow. Yes, that was the PTQ that I played. He won it. He smashed it. Ah, God, this hand's even worse. I think we have to mulligan again. I don't think we can keep a hand versus mono red. It just doesn't have a spell or a play before turn 4. Alright. I'm not going to go down to 4 cards, even though I again think this hand's pretty terrible. I'm not going to keep this either. Oh, Urza, nice. Urza is a sweet, sweet card. Guess I could have played the plains first. I should have played the plains first. That was a minor mistake. Because there's a good chance I would have wanted to cycle to cast out. Double Beaumont. Not a game that we're happy... Or not a thing that we're happy to see. Yeah. I would have actually probably meltdowned one of those guys, and I would have definitely meltdown a Cropper, so I could be taking 3 damage now because of that misplay. We'll have to see how much it's going to come into play. Alright, so it's going to end up... Looks like it's not going to matter at all. But it could have potentially mattered. Potentially mattering is a huge thing. I don't actually want that land. I might cycle it next turn and try to find another meltdown. But had I played correctly, I would have been able to cycle this to look for a settle this following turn. But we've taken 0 extra damage so far. Hey Reggie J, what's up, man? I'm not a tryhard. Not a tryhard at all. Our opponent's a tryhard. He's beating us with little red cards. Rude. As they say in the Tanner family. Right on time. Right on time. I'm actually going to cycle this too. Alright, so we didn't hit a saddle, so we ended up taking 0 extra damage. He played Temur with the splash. It wasn't the full 4-color. He didn't have glints. He had like Verascas and Scarabs and some cartouches in the sideboard. Not actually sure whether he had Nico or not. Could have had Nico. I don't remember. So he took 0 extra damage this game. We'd love our opponent to tap all 3 of his mountains right now. Opponent did not tap all 3 of his mountains. Yeah, so we're going to gain at least 2 life here, and 2 life's better than no life. If he knows how to stack his triggers right, he gets to draw a nice whopping 9 cards. He knows how. That's not good for us. Okay. You had Bolus in your 75 the last time we tested. I didn't know you'd taken it out. I remember you showing me your sideboard, but I have the memory of a goldfish. I have no idea what had been changed or what was actually in it. I forgot. I remember like 2 cartouches, a River's Rebuke. I think it was 2 negates maybe. I don't remember. An Essence Scatter. Yeah, I just don't remember. I'm not smart. We dumb, fam. Alright, what do we got here? That's nothing that we really want. Alright. Let's just pass. See if he attacks. Could not. He could play around settle. Oh wait, he can attack. He's got 7 cards in his hand. I just forgot about that. He just drew 41 cards. How's he supposed to attack me? Alright, we need some help now. So now we need to kill that, and kill Hazoret, and sing Songs of Tomorrow. I guess I should have glimmered and looked for an Essence Scatter. That was a misplay by me. Second misplay this match, or game alone. So yeah, that was the second fairly bad play I made this game. So if there's an Essence Scatter on the top of our deck, we're going to be sad. Hey, there is an Essence Scatter. Maximum Tilt, and there's this thing. We can't keep either of them now. Because this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like a million. Maximum Tilt. Could have very potentially punted this game. Not used to playing that card, so that's not an excuse, and I realize that. We're probably just dead, and by probably just dead, I mean we are 100% just dead, I think. So we're going to go down to 6. Yeah, I'm just not used to playing that card. That was bad by me. It may not have mattered. Yeah. So we're certainly going to cast out now. Actually, we still have to cast out this, I think. So if we cast out this, we go up to 7, we take 3 down to 4, and we die. If we cast out the token, we go to 1, and we're not technically dead. Alright. So we gotta cast out the token. Could still easily be dead to like millions of things. But we're not dead on board, and not being dead on board is better than being dead on board. I don't think we actually have an out. But we're not dead on board. He can deal 4 damage at the end of his turn, 4 damage on our turn. So he can deal 8, we're at 7, and we're dead. He also gets to attack with the Hazoret now. So yeah, we mulliganed to 5, and we made 2 pretty bad misplays that game. We actually had an opportunity to potentially win, depending on what was in his hand, had we made different plays. Think we're just going to represent it like this. I still don't really like the Glimmers. I would rather have Ops. Don't like the Supreme Wills. Would rather have Ops, but we had a chance to win, even though I played poorly. 3.42 for the semester. Congratulations, man. That's pretty good. Is that above, below, or equal to what you normally expect? And we'll play first. I don't want to keep this hand, but I think I have to. Alright, we'll keep it. If we're leaving these in the deck, I think we have to keep this hand. I think we also have to... think we also probably need to cycle to cast out, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If he doesn't play anything on turn 1, we probably won't cycle to cast out. If he does like play a turn 1 Beaumont, we may have to cycle it. Yeah, not happy about this. Because there's only 3 of them in the list, so there's a high probability that we're going to need one at some point. I'm actually going to play this turn. A Censor might make him not play his best threat. Alright, so that's pretty nice. Congratulations, man. I wasn't sure, because like you could have been like, I got a 3.4, and I said congratulations, and you be used to a 4.0, or like, you know what I mean? Like a 3.4 would be outstanding for me, because I'm used to like a 2. I'm used to getting like a 2. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. The odds of us seeing another land in that amount of turns are very, very high, and we're going to be setting on the Supreme Wills the next couple turns anyway. Oh, wow. Now I just kind of want to play this. If I play this and he gets to resolve a crasher, though, that's kind of bad for us. I think we just want to step back and hold up our Supreme Will and hope that we get to nail a crasher. Probably going to end up regretting getting rid of that land at some point because I'm obviously not going to get the land when I want it. Because that's how I row, yo. That's how I row, yo. Row, row, row your boat. Ooh. It'd be a nice time to actually peg that so he doesn't get to draw the cards. But what million things can he resolve if we do that? I think we just have to let him have them. If he plays like a Rampager this turn, we'll probably Supreme Will for the land. If he plays anything else... Oh, we're still Supreme Willing for the land. Because that's a wonderful thing to like try to pick up in this Fumigate. He didn't leave a red mana untapped. Our opponent got mana screwed game 1 and game 3 fairly bad. We're snapping off the land. Actually going to snap off the Rivulet. Don't think the colors, or I don't think that we'll ever take a point of damage from it. Yeah, so we're still at 17. So I got 2 C's. Right after that I say never play red, I get paired with red. Hey, we got paired versus 2 red decks in a row. I mean, it happens. It's not fun, but it happens. Really want to draw an untapped land? Would love to be able to censor and play the cat. Alright, well, we'll just play the cat then. We'll double block the Crasher if he kills the cat with like a Glory Bringer or something. If not, we will be looking to advance our board next turn, probably with the Giddy ticking up on the Crasher and attacking for like 7. It all depends on what he plays this turn, how we plan on progressing past this turn. But we're obviously in pretty good shape at this point. Alright, so we can't double block then, so if he kills the cat, we can get kind of blown out here. I assume he's going to make this not be able to block, and he's just offering me this for that. Pretty willing to take that, I think. I don't want to take 3 more damage at all. Especially when he's got this and 8 potential damage in play there. Actually, I think I'm gonna... I don't really want to attack. Like, I can do some blocking next turn. Kind of just want to play the Glimmer and try to develop my lands. Not entirely sure what the right play is here. I think we're going to need more lands to win. That Settle's actually really good. That Settle gives us quite a few options, and we did hit the land as well. So now we can censor a Glory Bee if that's what come to pass. We're certainly just going to block this turn if given the opportunity. So he's got another Earthshaker Kenra in his graveyard. Yeah, so we're certainly just going to block and take 4 points of damage. Or 5 points of damage, rather. It'll be 4 after we take our pain. Oh, that's a good draw in a way. So we're certainly going to block here. So we can attack and go to 10, then go to 14 if we want. Then he's going to hit us for a minimum 4. We could just hold the Settle up. I like just holding the Settle up, I think. I like just holding the Settle up. I think he's only going to attack with like one thing. I was right. He was only going to attack with one thing. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, by the way. Oh, wow. That's pretty good for him. Alright, so what do we do now? There's another binding. Do we binding, then prepare to fumigate? Now we're really getting stuck on lands here. If we just cast a fumigate, we gain 1, 2, 3, 4 life to 14. Then down to 12. Then down to potentially 8 when he still has 8 points of these life in play. And he gets to play something for his turn. It's probably worth it. Don't just want to sit back and hold to settle again. Kind of want to force him to use his land next turn. Could also just have binding this. Alright, so I lost a point of damage here. That was a stupid attack. Very stupid attack by me. I'm an idiot. Wow, that might be the worst play I made today. Because that was just on-board silliness. Luckily he does damage in points of 2, so I don't think it actually matters, but like it was still pretty bad. It was still pretty bad. Hazoret. So maximum punished. We really need to draw an untapped land. That's not an untapped land. Can't win like this. Hopefully he draws another Hazoret. Like him drawing another Hazoret is so much better for us than him playing a Kinra. Yeah, he's gonna play a Kinra though. Still need to draw our land very, very badly. Alright, so we hit our land. We can cast Approach here and go to 9. Back to 5 on board. So we die to a Hazoret if that's the case. Or we can... I think that's probably the better play. Not really sure. Could just cast a Gideon and tick up as well. Getting tick up binding. Or sorry, getting 0 binding is what I meant to say. Oh yeah, sure, he can't play Hazoret, you're right. I'm not used to playing bindings. Good call, good call. So... Binding getting 0 feels like the best all-around play. Like, lots of things can beat that though, right? I think I like that best. So, we can approach to 9, and then he's got a minimum of us at 5. Can't do anything with that 4 mana though. We don't have 4 white mana, so like we can't ever cast this Settle, and we can't cast the Settle and a Gideon on the same turn. We could cast, and we're at 2 life, so like he could just kill us with this. We're at 2 life, so like our Ramian Runes could just kill us. So we go to 9. He's got 6 on board. Yeah. I think I'm casting the Approach. I think I can do better with the Gideon later. Pretty sure I'm just casting the approach. Because if we don't cast the approach now and he untaps and plays like Rampaging Feroctodon, sure, he doesn't kill us, but it makes our approach terrible. Alright. So... need to really draw a white source to have a chance. White source, one time. That's not a white source of land, so we can't win now, can we? No, can't win now. We just lose. Yep. Just dead. Don't think we made any misplays this game. Think we just didn't draw the important card and didn't have much of a chance. Could have untapped and actually drew an approach too. Alright, that's the game. Can't see any way out. Even if we get to settle both his creatures, that's irrelevant. He just kills us with this. We have to play this and 0 not to die to that. Even if we play this 0 and binding one of these guys, like all he has to do is attack the Gideon first and then use the Ramunap rune. Alright, I guess make him do it, I guess, because YOLO. I mean, that doesn't actually win, but still make him do it. Should have actually targeted the Cropper. Wonder if that's what I should have did last turn. So if we did that last turn, we would have binding to 4/4, played Gideon, zeroed it. He would have been able to cast a Cropper, killed a Gideon, then we cast Approach. Hey Soda, what's up, man? I'm not sure I played last turn right. Like, I made the choice that I made last turn because I was afraid of... Oh, well, if he drew a Lightning Strike, neither of the choices I made would have mattered. I was worried about Rampaging Feroctodon, but I'm not exactly sure. I feel like opponent drew very poorly and beat us pretty easily. Yeah, maybe we could have and just not developed our lands, but I feel like he can top deck out of that pretty easily. I don't know. The turn that we got slapped by Hazoret, we had a few different decision points. Pretty happy with how we played it, but I would have to rewatch the game and really think about it. I'm not sure. I think we made the best decision on the last turn, but there was a few other decisions that game that could have went one way or the other way, I believe. Either way, I think it come down to us not really having much interaction. Like, we stalled on lands and all of the cards we drew cost 1,000,000 mana. Like, we were having to waste our entire turn using Supreme Wills and stuff like that while we were still taking damage every turn. And I don't think that's how you beat those decks. So we have no white mana, we have no real card draw, we have no... even worse. Even worse than I expected. So I'll keep here. Go ahead and put that on the bottom. I mean, can you call that mana effed? I don't really call that mana effed. I called that we kept 3-drops in our deck when we should have been able to be cycling and stuff on those turns and playing ops and stuff. I don't know if I consider that mana effed or if I just consider that we didn't have the right cards in our deck. Hey, you expired. I'm currently playing a black-green mid-range energy deck. So much fun. Old school, no blue. I was actually talking about that the other day. I think it might be correct for Gearhulks to make a comeback. I'm not actually sure. because the braids are like everywhere, but it feels like it's time for Gearhulks to shine. I'm going to go ahead and put the Opt in the graveyard because I really just want the land. We're going to draw an Opt anyway. I know Opt lets you go one card deeper, so it's technically better to put on top when you're looking for a land, but we already had 2 cards that could cycle, and I was wanting just to ping the land without having to use the mana, so that we could hold up Censor if we need to like try to prevent a 4-drop. Have you tried anything sweet in it? Are you playing like Gonties? Did you go the Servant route like Brad used to go, or are you just like low to the curve trying to fish people really? With like the 16 powerful 2-drops. I'm counting Walking Ballista as a 2-drop in that scenario, but Alright. We have double Wrath here, so if they don't have counter spells and we hit lands, we're probably gonna win this game. Regardless of what they have. It's just, will we hit the lands? Island to the graveyard. No, sir. We'll keep our island. Put that there. To see how he attacks this turn, to decide whether we're going to cast Fumigate or not. Or sorry, to decide whether we're going to cast Settle or not. I assume we're not going to Settle. I assume we're just going to Censor something and or draw a card with Censor. If he attacked with both, I'd probably consider a Settle. Because I could not stop them from resolving that. They had a Servant of the Conduit. There was nothing we could do to stop that. They had a Servant of the Conduit. We could have made them spend 1 energy, which would have saved us 2 points of damage. But that's all we could really do there. Good. I think drawing a card is more valuable than making them spend 1 energy and preventing 2 damage. There's situations that I would do that. Oh, they're an electrostatic pummeler deck. Not fun, friends. Alright, so we really need to hit that land now. Thank you for the land. Hopefully they don't have multiple pummelers. Red Rover, please no multiple pummelers. Fumigate. 2 Fumigates. A Fumigate, 2 Cats, and 3 Authorities in the top 13 cards. That's fair. Actually turned out being okay considering he's the pummeler deck. And he's not the Temur deck, so. But that's a reasonable opinion. Like, I thought about not doing it, but I was really afraid I wouldn't draw my land, and I was afraid he'd like get to resolve something. So we can guaranteed flip to Settle if we choose to. Meltdown probably is absolutely useless versus them, because he's going to have a blossoming defense or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can cast Approach next turn, and we can start looking for like Wraths for every turn of the game. It does have 9 energy already though, so like that thing can attack for 7. That thing can very easily be a 2-turn clock. Flying Cove is the devil. Fair enough. That thing can very easily be a 2-turn clock, especially if that has Shap Oasis over there. So we're definitely going to be probably looking for another Settle or a Fumigate. Alright. Just go ahead and always yield to that. Could have been a little bit hasty to use it. Great Villain could very be correct. He banked 2 energy, which I find odd. Maybe he doesn't need that energy to kill me. He's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he doesn't need that energy to actually win. So Wrath of God type effect? There's a Gideon and a Supreme Will. I guess the Supreme Will is better versus their deck. So he can do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he can only do 18 with one thing. Trying to decide whether I'm casting an approach, and I think I'm willing to cast an approach for a backup plan, but it's pretty easy for him just to be able to untap and win. So I really would like to draw the Fumigate. We did not draw the Fumigate. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and he still has 4 mana left over. So 18. So if he has like a Blossoming Defense and a Larger Than Life, we're just dead. We could also Supreme Will to look for a settle, but there's only 2 settles left in the deck. If we hit the settle, we'd probably just win. We have 41 cards in the deck. We know what the 3 bottom is, so there's like 38 cards left in the deck. We wouldn't get any redraws in that situation. So I think it's like less than a 50% chance to even hit it, but it's less than 50% to hit it though. So the math is, does he have a higher chance to hit it, or does he have a higher chance to have those cards than to us hit it? Oh, I think it's mathematically better to play the approach, even though I think both of them are very low odds. I think it's a higher chance to go for the approach. If we had a higher percent to hit it, I would probably go for it. I just think this is the better math play. I think he will as well. I think he will as well. But like I said, we don't even have a we're not even coin flipping to draw it. Like, we're below 50% chance to hit the settle. If we had the full 4 settles, maybe, but there's only 3 settles in this list, and we've already used 1. So we're only drawing the 2 settles. So like, mathematically, we're somewhere in like the 35 to 40% range to hit it, whereas he has to have 2 fairly specific cards out of 8. I think it's pretty easy for him to have those cards, but I'm not exactly sure. Alright, so does that kill us? Yep, we're dead. 8, 10, 13. That's just 16, but any larger than life wins. Alright, 16. So we're dead. And we wouldn't have hit it either way, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not about calling it, right? Like, we expect it to die, right? We didn't expect to win, but the odds of hitting the other card were extremely low. Like, he could have flooded. He could have had a couple of dive downs in his hand, or like multiple blossoming defenses. He didn't have to have larger than life. He didn't have to have an energy producer and larger than life. But like, I think the math says that we weren't likely to draw it. Or he wasn't likely to have it. Or sorry, I think the math was he was less likely to have it than we were to hit it. So versus these decks, I typically like to board in Essence Scatter. I typically like to board in Disallow. I actually like to board in the Gear Hulk as well. I think the games go long enough that you can get some value out of the Settled Wreckages. I typically bring in a couple of Negates in these matches as well. Negates aren't the greatest card in the world, but they are pretty reasonable. I don't like bringing in any of this stuff that like taps for like 1,000,000 mana and that they spend 1 mana to stop. Which is the same reason that I usually get rid of the Gideon in this match, and I actually usually get rid of the cast outs in this match too. Sometimes you feel terrible getting rid of the cast outs because like sometimes they just play Ronus, and like it takes over a game. But again, if they play it at the right times, they can always defend it. I think the Settles are okay versus the... Or sorry, I think the Regal Caracols are okay versus the... God, I am just tongue-tied like crazy today. I think they're okay versus the blue-green, but I don't like them really versus the blue-red. I'm not really sure what to take out, though. I don't really think I want the Meltdowns. I think it's all about these cards. I don't think the Regal Caracols do a great deal. This match is just very, very hard. Let's get rid of one of these two and bring in all of these. Well, yeah, I wasn't talking about the odds. Like, do we think they're 100% to hit something? Like, it's their odds of hitting versus our odds, and we just had two settles. That's all we could hit, so we were like below 40%. This hand's a keep. It's not a very good hand, but I don't know. I think search is good. They're not particularly fast. They don't win till like turn 5, 6, or 7. You can get a lot of value out of the searches when you're not interacting early. And if you get any Wrath of Gods, like they board in multiple counter spells, like sometimes the games can go to like 10, 11, 12 turns. Having sensors on the play versus Long Tusk Cub decks, though, are always where you want to be, and that's why we kept this hand. We would have probably mulliganed this hand on the draw. I think it's actually probably a pretty easy mulligan on the draw. Even though it looked like we have all the cards that we want. It's just too slow because like one Long Tusk Cub could come down and win the game by itself. Especially if they have any counterspell to back it up in X amount of turns. We'll sideboard differently on the draw. Like the Meltdowns and stuff are a little bit better on the draw. Because you need some interaction, like if they sneak a turn 2 card down, but... Could have lost that last game by using Settle at an improper time, like the, I think it was the Great Villains. No, it was... Who was it that said that? Somebody said it. Said I didn't get enough value. And they could have very well been right. Why can I not read it? Whatever. We're countering this too, and I'm kind of annoyed that I can't find something that was just said in chat. Ah, the Great Villain. It was the Great Villain. I was right. Fair enough. But yeah, we could have lost last game by just using the Settle wrong. Hey, Eric, thank you so much for the host, man. Sorry I've not been around to watch you lately. I've had a very weird sleep schedule. I got him with quad authority. He put the hazard into danger zone. The danger zone! Second Glimmer is probably not bad. It depends on what he gets to resolve on this following turn, if anything. Alright, you can have Dumbo. Operation Dumbo Drop engaged. Curious if that black-green mid-range deck was playing Dumbo. I think Dumbo's wonderful right now. Do you resolve, friend? I'm going to keep one of these because it doesn't look like he has any threats I care about yet. This takes this thing a long time to kill us. Hello, Glimmer. Could have kept both Essence Scatters there, to be honest. I may should have kept both Essence Scatters. I guess I could have counterspelled that. I gave him an energy for no reason because I think I am going to counterspell it on hindsight. It's just too quick of a clock. It's a 3-turn clock. So on hindsight, I think I am going to counterspell it. So I gave him an energy that he didn't deserve because I do not play very well and I should have not pressed that button. Nice, Murph. Glad you got it, man. We don't have meltdowns on our deck right now, so there's no reason to glimmer in response to this attack. Also, if we wanted if we wanted to meltdown that, we'd just take the 3 damage and probably do it at the end of his turn. There is a 3rd Essence Scatter in the deck, I think. Is there 3 Essence Scatters in the deck? I don't remember the list. If there's 3 Essence Scatters in the deck, we're supposed to definitely do that. Approach 2. There's 2 Essence Scatter. Yeah, there's 3 Essence Scatters in the deck. Sorry guys, new list. So we can see if we can find another Essence Scatter here. Bottom, top, I guess. Alright, so we're going to take a large hit next turn. This may get counterspelled, but if it does get counterspelled, we're less likely to take a big, large, super massive smacking of damage. Some of the lists only play 2 of those right now. I have no idea why, but some of those lists only play 2. Bristling Hydra is like an auto 3 to 4 up for me. The list that 5-0'd the other day that we tried on stream only had 2. It kind of blew my mind that it only had 2. So we plan on trying to Gear Hulk and block something here. Seems like our opponent's draw was pretty poor. We currently know that our approach is 6 cards down. It's always good to keep a little reminder, even if you think you can keep up with it. No, I agree 100%. I'm such a fan of the card. It does so much work. Could even Essence Scatter a thing if he plays a thing. Alright, so that's at least 8 damage. I think it's the... I know when you play the black versions of Temur, you have access to things like Scarab or Vraska and stuff like that, but for just straight Temur, I think it's the actual best card that's main deckable. So he's only going to attack with this. I think we're going to just soak up 6 damage and go on about our day. So how much lands do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So keeping the negates okay, but we have to live 2 turns. So if we block here, we're going to take 2 down to 13, and then next turn he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think keeping both of those is actually okay. I think keeping both of those is okay. We know it's going to be 3 cards down now. Yeah. That makes us a little sad. So, how much damage is this next turn? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now we actually have to hit something. Well, if we have to hit something, it's probably better for us to Supreme Will now, right? So you know it's 4 cards down and we don't get to approach back if we do this. If we Supreme Will now, we actually have time. They both go 4 cards deep. I think we're going to Supreme Will. We have to shuffle away to approach doing this, though, if we hit. This card actually buys us time, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, we just win. I'm an idiot. Wow, I'm an idiot. Oh my god, how am I that bad? How am I that bad? Oh my god, Tilt. Sometimes streaming is embarrassing. Sometimes streaming is embarrassing, friends. Yeah, sometimes streaming is embarrassing. Do simple math, Ray. Don't just stand there and look at things. Opponent's probably thinking I'm slow rowing and not realizing I'm too stupid to math. I have no idea what a media promo hydra is. Alright. I'm just going to sit here and be embarrassed for a little bit. Embarrassing. I'm not bright. What do you do when you can't do anything right? I think we want the meltdowns on the draw, just in case he gets a turn 2. Gives us some out to it. I don't really like taking out the ops, but I don't really like taking out the glimmers either. I wouldn't mind 1 or 2 of these back in on the draw. It has been decided. Alright. Oh gosh. How embarrassed I am. Right when there's like 43 people in here. Do. Be embarrassed. Be embarrassed. I want to get that milk. I don't really want to talk about things like that on stream because no matter what side you are, it like makes the stream more negative and like starts arguing or starts arguments. But that's something I would discuss off stream. I will say that regardless of whether what he did was worth banning or not worth banning, and I'm not saying, you know, publicly one way or the other, I will say he was actually asking to get banned. Like, the man wanted to get banned, so he legitimately wanted to be banned. So it's kind of hard to have sympathy for him when he actually wanted to be banned. Because he wanted to be a martyr. And again, like, I'm not saying whether he did anything right or wrong. I'm just saying that he wanted to be a martyr. But yeah, like I don't think that's a good topic of conversation for a stream. I used to watch all his box opening videos, and then when his content changed a little bit, like I don't watch any content like that though. Like I don't watch Wedge, I don't watch Cholerian Community College, I don't watch Boogie, I don't watch him. Like, I like to watch the box openings. I don't really like to listen to drama at all. One way or the other, I don't like to listen to drama on either side of the fence. It's just not what does it for me. I'm not going to say it's wrong for other people. If that's what you're into, cool. I'm not going to tell people they're right or wrong about something like that. It's not my business. I don't hate the guy, though. A lot of people like hate the guy and want him to die and stuff like that, and that's not me. I mean, I wish we could have all just got along, but I am worried that we will push the envelope too far at some point. Wow, opponent drew a bunch of rampagers. But yeah, I don't think it's a great topic of conversation for like a stream because, like, for example, there's 40-some people in here at the moment. There's going to be some percentage of people that thinks he's banned or thinks he deserves to be banned, while another percentage of people are going to think he doesn't deserve to be banned, and it just doesn't seem like it brings up anything constructive to have that type of argument. Yeah, gameplay videos, I do like box openings. I will admit that I love box openings. But that's what I enjoyed. And he does fantastic box openings. Like his, I even watched his Unstable box opening the other day because, to be kind of honest, I was curious how he was going to do it after this. But, oh, by the way, you expired. Are you using Rampagers in your list? So we're on thin ice right now, this game. We're certainly needing to hit something and he'll not have a counterspell. And we're needing that fairly quickly. He is very light on cards, so if it's not a counterspell, I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Well, he's only attacking with 1, which means he very unlikely has a counterspell. Yeah, we'll take our damage. Harvesters, fair. Harvesters is a really good card in that deck as well. Have you been having much success with it? Like, is it going well for you? I kind of want to put one of these cards on top just as a bluff. I'm certainly putting that one on the bottom. Do I want to put this one on the top? Like, could just be dead next turn if we put this on top. I guess we'll put it on bottom too. We're technically dead on board. Unless we hit something. We don't have a whole lot of cards to hit with. So it looks like he is looking like he's going to do some things. Interesting. So that means he's probably going to go for it. I guess we let him then? Oh wow, maybe he's not going for it. Alright, if he's not going for it, we're just going to censor, I think, and see if we hit. We did not hit, so we're just going to take our 6 damage. We will negate if we need to survive, so we have 5 cards and potentially draw, or run backs. What is the guy asking why about? 413241 so far has been amazing. I will run Rampagers when Mono Red comes back. But my free leagues? Oh, fair. That sounds very, very reasonable and well thought out. Alright, well we found our Fumigate, so... And we found a Settle the Wreckage too, so we have some insurance for the next spell. We can play around a Spell Pierce, and we actually have a negate if he has a negate. I get read about one thing. I don't actually know why he made that play. He's just playing around Settle in some weird manners. A lot of opponents do. It's kind of odd. So we're back to 5. There's a Lone Tusk Cub. It does not kill us in 1 attack, so that's groovy. I said groovy. Torrential Gearhulk. We have Glimmers in our graveyard, so that's kind of nice. And we have a negate. So this is obviously also groovy. Interesting. So that's going to be able to attack for 8 damage total. We have a Settle. Alright, I guess we'll just settle it and save our Gearhulk for a later turn then. He's got double counterspell, he beats us, but it's pretty hard for him to have double counterspell since he could have had single counterspell last turn. Like, I could see 1 counterspell here, but it's very hard for him to have 2, I believe. So he's got some kind of other threat. Bristling Hydra. Got it. Gotcha. Bristling Hydra trades with our Gearhulk at the moment. So the real question is, would we let Bristling Hydra trade with the Gearhulk, or would we go for the Settle? I think we go for the Settle. Do I want Settle or Glimmermore is the big question here. A Blossoming Defense would like save the Bristling Hydra from the Gearhulk, so I'm pretty sure that I'm supposed to just settle. But we're also pretty low on cards, so I think we have to go for the settle. Hey, that card is absolutely great. Can't press F6 because it's too easy for him just to have a counterspell. Alright, he did not have a counterspell. I don't know how we're still in this game and we've drawn almost every land in our deck. And this is obviously not close to every land in our deck. I'm just whining. Alright, no creature one time. Sweet, he had no creature. And we have a Fumigate for his first creature. Probably drew that this turn. It's turn 11. We played a land every turn of the game. That's pretty big on its own. So if he misses this turn, we're in great shape. Opponent's drawn a land almost every turn of the game as well. Alright, that should lock it up. I'll be surprised if we don't win after the Caracal. If the Caracal resolves, which we would protect it from with a counterspell. That should be it. We have 4 attackers and only 2 have to get through for the following turn, and we have a negate for like random shenanigans that we wouldn't expect. So we're gonna get the 4-1 here. We lost pretty badly to the red deck. Where's the league details at? Yeah. There we go. So we lost pretty badly to a red deck, but we made 2 misplays in game 2. We potentially could have won it. I have no idea, but our opponent did get mana screwed in game 1 and game 3. We beat the Temur decks pretty easily. We beat a Desert Red deck, and then we beat a Cycling deck. So we beat Desert Red, Cycling, Temur. We lost a pretty... All the games were pretty close. Like, all of these games went 2-1. And then we won a pretty decent match there versus Pummeler, but our opponent didn't draw very well in either game 2 or 3. So I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Let's pop up the build again. Again, this is our friend Ricky's build. He and I build and sideboard this deck very differently. Some of the cards that he has in his main deck that I was originally down on definitely performed better than I would have expected. Some of the cards performed about how I expected. I was actually pretty impressed by how good the Ixalan's Binding was post-board. Versus both of the red decks, I was sad that I didn't draw an Authority. The Kefnet did not impress me. The Essence Scatters really impressed me. I was pretty happy with the Essence Scatters. Going forward, when I rebuild my approach deck, I will have Essence Scatters in the deck. Actually, I like this main deck pretty decent. I want one more Settle in it, but that's the big... I kind of want one more Settle and one more Meltdown, but maybe we don't need that stuff. Just how we sideboard is very different, but it was actually a pretty fun experiment, and I enjoyed playing his deck and sideboarding how he asked me to sideboard. So it was a pretty welcome change. Anyway, so that's going to do it for us tonight. I'll be posting yesterday's video here in a few minutes, and I will be hosting a pretty solid player. He top 8'd the MTGO PPTQ last weekend. He's playing Temur. He's a solid player. He's a housemate of Pete Ward, if you guys keep up with the professional scene whatsoever. He's a pretty good player, has a pretty good attitude. I will preference before I ship you guys over there with a host. He's how do you say it? How do I say it politely? He's a little more aggressive and foul language to me. So if you don't like curse words, I would probably go watch the Candio or somebody. But he's a pretty good guy, and he's a very solid streamer and a very solid player. But take care, everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by.